Thank you. Man. I tell you what. It's been a little bit. We should probably talk. Yeah. So I have a Valve Index. That's what I use for VR. And one of the lighthouses that you use for the tracking, the full body tracking and everything, the light on it turned red one day. Like, it was just working totally fine, and then it just turned red. And I know that that is a sign of a failed laser. And there's really nothing you can do for it. You got to send it back to Valve. And I've had this thing since it came out, so it's out of warranty at this point. So what the hell am I going to do, you know? I thought it was worth a shot anyway, you know, go ahead and open a ticket with them, send it off. Maybe they'll do something. I don't know. They did. They actually said, hey, you know, even though it's out of warranty, we'll go ahead and send you a replacement. Like, that's awesome. So they sent it to me. Of course, I was at FWA and it arrived. And as soon as I got back home, I got to put it back up, and here we are. Everything's working again. Hooray. You can tell that I'm thrilled. Now it's over there just behaving properly. Like, I have it in like standby mode while I'm not playing, so it's not making a kind of really annoying noise and whatnot. But normally it's just got the nice little flashing green light, and then everything's working good. So we're back in business. Now I can record videos again. So speaking of, let me tell you about FWA, I guess. So this will be my third year at FWA. I went in 2013, and I wasn't super crazy about it. The hotel was in the Westin. It was that giant tubular cylindrical, this looks weird, sort of building, and they only had like a few elevators. They had multiple floors that you could access the elevators from, so there was just like everyone was riding the elevators down to go up. You could never get to your room. It was just a nightmare. And then of course you go outside and you get accosted by people out there, you know, like either homeless people begging for money or just people trying to scam you. People are getting into fights left and right outside, just yelling at it. It's absolute chaos, honestly. And I just didn't really care for it. But last year, a friend of mine convinced me to kind of go. There was a room spot that opened up and said, hey, you want to come? And I said, sure. I hadn't been out to a convention in a long time, and I thought, hey, you know, what the hell? There's supposed to be this massive arcade there with all these music games. I love music games. See my previous video about that. And I just thought it would be a good idea to just check it out. No one will know I'm there. It's just, there's no pressure. I'm just going to just kind of just be in the background. And you know what? I had a great time. I actually really had a great time. I had social anxiety pretty bad. I've never really been good at making friends, so I don't know what to say to people, and my hobbies are pretty much just video games, art, things like that. I don't know how to talk about that stuff that I feel is going to be interesting, so it's kind of almost a bad idea to even do this video stuff. I don't know if anyone's going to find it interesting, but you know, one of those things. But yeah, I thought, okay, I'm going to go there and, you know, I can kind of see some people, meet some people, maybe talk to some people. Probably not, though. What I figured I would do, actually, is just hang out at the arcade. And that kind of worked. You know, I was down at the arcade, and if ever my social battery would drain, I would just go down there, play a couple games, kind of recharge, go back out, hang out with a couple friends. We're all good. I thought this year, I'll do the same thing. Except this year, people actually did know that I was going to be coming. You know, I kind of kept out of touch with a lot of friends, a lot of people I used to know. I just kind of went through a bad phase with the fandom, and just wanted to kind of just distance myself a little bit, just kind of find out where I was with things. And that kind of built an expectation almost to be Maglot, to be in suit, to do the character thing. And I just kind of was like, I don't really I just want to just chill, you know? And so I really honestly think none of that was put on me or anything. It was just all in my head, and I let that get out of control. Ended up having a bad time. For the first couple days anyways. I kind of hid in the room, or I just talked to the friends that I was with. My husband was there with me and kind of kept me sane through a lot of that. But yeah, I just kind of couldn't get past this feeling that everyone's gonna see that I'm kind of like not as interesting as I look at in character, that I'm just kind of a boring person and everyone else is so much cooler than me and I just can't handle it. So one of the things I actually thought would be kind of funny is I had found this social anxiety badge pin thing that I wore on my lanyard that came with a little adjustable slider so that you have like, fully charged to empty. And I thought it'd be really funny, haha, I'll wear that and then just like joke around with it. But honestly, it kind of made it real. It made it too real. Like every time I'd look down and I'd jokingly like adjust it, it was like, no, you know what? I actually really do feel like that. That's not great. How do I deal with that? That's honestly something that I've dealt with my whole life. Like I don't know why people like me. I don't know what I have to offer. I don't know what would make anyone stick around. Like I can look at someone else and say like, you're cool because X, Y, and Z. And anyone would be lucky to hang out with you and have you as a friend. For me, I can't really turn that lens around and say like, this is why I am cool. I don't know. I'm not privy to that information, but it's just hard for me to do that. And so, you kind of get in this kind of train of self-doubt and whatnot, and you just want to run. That's the thing. And I see other people that are just so, at least they seem so confident, that it just is like, oh, it's even worse. Like, oh, I can't keep up with that. There's no way. But then there's other people that I met that, you talk to them and they're like, oh no, I was feeling the same way. I was absolutely terrified to be out and talking to people, but I'm forcing myself to do it. And I'm just like, that's incredible. Like I can't even fathom being in that boat because I'm running and they're fighting it. It's the fight or flight response thing, I guess. And I was more impressed by that and just like, I need to get with it. I really need to work on this because I drove 700 miles from Pittsburgh to Atlanta to be there and have a vacation, where instead I was miserable most of the time. Like, something's got to break. Yeah. But knowing that I'm not the only one that feels like that kind of grounds me a little bit. At least I'm not crazy. I think everyone's, struggling in some sort of a way, but some are better at making it look like they're not, and they're appearing confident, and some are confident. You can really tell those people. I want to be one of those people, but I don't know how yet. Working on that. All that aside, hung out with some great people, really good friends. Garth Wolf Urbis as a roommate as well. My husband Pivot Roo, hanging out with a lot of the UK vrchat furs, Grum, Rio, Vox, Chibi, Pewter, tons of guys. I love all you guys. You made it so much better to hang out with and be there. So thank you so much. One of the coolest things that I actually got to experience was a place called the Red Phone Booth. It's a speakeasy that's kind of hidden in the shape of a red phone booth from like the UK. And you have to get a secret code from the hotel that you're in the front desk, and then they give you the code. You go out there, you have to have proper dress attire, and then you call the number as the code. You call the number in the phone booth. It's in a rotary phone, and then they let you in. And it's a speakeasy, and they had some of the best drinks I've ever had, and I got pretty well sauced. It was just one of those weird nights that like everything seemed to kind of click. I was with some great friends, and the atmosphere was just really chill and super cool looking. And I just was at peace, and it was almost like a hard reset. And then Sunday, it just all fell into place, and everything was so much better. And I had a great time Sunday. It's almost like it completely made up for feeling so crappy the whole time. Went out and got to say hi to a few suitors and whatnot, and got to see a couple that I was just like, wow, I've never seen that suit before in person, or not one at all. That's awesome. I didn't suit myself. I wanted to. I brought Maglot with me, but I just didn't. I wasn't ready to be in character yet. And not to mention, it's like the older version of the character. Like I have new designs that I've done in vrchat, and I kind of want to get a new suit to match it, but that's really far down the road, I'm sure. But it's just one of those weird things, and I'm working on it, man. I don't want to be such a bummer after the last video about, you know, health anxiety and whatnot. I wanted to kind of be a little bit more uplifting, but we'll get this crap out of the way and then we'll go back to some fun stuff after that. Promise. But that pretty much sums it up for me. So, yeah, let me know what, if you went to the con, what your favorite parts were, or like what were your likes and dislikes? What would you change? What would you keep? Let me know in the comments, and I'd like to hear about it. Just, you know, kind of keep a conversation going. So that's all for now. I will catch you next time. Videos coming out whenever they come out. I really don't know. I'm just making them as I go. So, yeah. See ya, I guess. Bye. Yep. I don't really know how to end these. Does the camera just cut, or? Yeah. Okay. Just go away.